Hi, people. It is still the same day as my last video. I was just reading comments from one of my people, and I thought maybe I'd try to do a clarification of what it is I'm taking for this cancer. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the last one, the ivermectin. Okay, ivermectin gets rid of parasites, and it's my own head that told me, you know what, you ought to take this. Just give it a try. It's not going to hurt you. And I compared it to a story that happened 20 years ago where this man who had been fighting cancer forever, um, he told me to take a colon cleanse. Okay, a colon cleanse kills parasites. Okay, parasites, whatever kind. So that was his answer. He had been fighting cancer. He had it several different times, but he always beat it. And he attributed it to a colon cleanse. Okay, get that crap out of you, get those parasites out of you. And he's mostly talking about the digestive tract. And so I did do that, and I did see the parasites in the toilet. And it was a traumatic experience, especially for newlyweds, both needing the same toilet at the same time. Anyway, so I'm sorry that probably confused you. But in my mind's eye, in my own head, from the experience that I had with that older fella and his battle with cancer, and his answer for me was to do a colon cleanse, which kills parasites. I know I just repeated myself. Okay, so ivermectin is a wormer, and they use it for horses, but a lot of people are using it for their dogs too. Okay, not the whole syringe, because you go by weight. I just don't know how often a person is supposed to take it, or a horse. But with dogs and puppies and stuff, they take wormer quite a bit. It's just, I don't know why they get it, and I'm no expert, and I've seen those worms you're talking about. I mean, puppies seem like they came out into the world with worms. So I'm not positive about all that. I'm not a veterinarian, and I haven't been raising dogs for quite a while now, so, I mean, my brother does. But it's like, I think they might even worm him the first time at 2 weeks. But nevertheless, okay, that's not what I'm on here for. I got Linda confused at all my treatments. So, the treatments that I'm getting from the doctor is hormone blockers because my cancer loves the hormones. So they're trying to make it, and when it says hormone blocker, it seems to me it's just blocking the hormone from getting to where the cancer is. I don't know how they do stuff like that. But I really don't know about all that. So for that, I'm taking a hormone blocker, which is a pill I'm taking every day. And then once a month, I'm going in and I'm getting these 2 big shots put in my butt, one on each side, which is a hormone blocker. So I take it as a stronger hormone blocker, and they do that every 28 days. So it must last for the 28 days, okay? And I guess, according to them, I'm supposed to take that the rest of my life. Well, I don't know about that. We'll just see. The rest of my life might not be very long if, sometimes one thing that's killing, like someone told me, don't burn the house down trying to get rid of the cockroaches, you know? And then I listened to a lady, I haven't listened to her forever, but she was an 18-year survivor of breast cancer, stage 4, which is what I had. And she just went off of everything. And she was 18 years. So, that's a thought. because it makes me wonder, this stuff they're putting in my body, is that killing me? Trying to kill the cancer, is that killing me too? Or should I just get off of it and try to do my best to eat right and exercise and live with it? Because you can live with cancer. We just don't know how long. But a lot of times I'm thinking that sometimes it's the cure that's killing us. Okay? I didn't do the chemo and I didn't do the radiation. I just couldn't make myself do it. It didn't feel right. It didn't seem right. I prayed to the Lord. I had a special blessing to help me to understand what I should do. And I said no. Now the thing was, I had a test that said that I wouldn't have the cancer come back. But see, in little fine print, it says you have to take a hormone blocker. Okay? Well, but I asked for it. The doctor wouldn't give it to me because he was mad at me because I wouldn't do the chemo and the radiation. That's exactly what it boiled down to. Well, if you won't do what I'm saying, then I'm not giving you that either. Well, that's not right, because we are the patient. We are the ones with the disease, and we deserve what we're supposed to have. He wasn't even going to do that damn test. And then I get the results of the test. Would chemotherapy be of a benefit to me? Big fat zero. And then chance of reoccurrence? Big fat zero. In 9 years, 9% chance of reoccurrence. In 9 years, okay? And I was already 68. I was figuring my chances were really good. However, they should not put that in little print where you're not going to really pay attention. I mean, I knew I needed a hormone blocker, but I didn't know how detrimental it was to not have it. So if they'd have given me my damn hormone blocker right in the beginning when I asked for it, and if I'd have been on it all that time, I wouldn't have this situation with stage 4. Stage 4 cancer is different in the different types of cancer, because I was asking my doctor, I finally got the courage to ask, how long do I have? What can I expect? And she said that as long as I don't miss any of my treatments, I could live for years. What does that mean? How many years? But anyway, what was the point? There was a point about all that. That damn first doctor, I should sue him. I should go back and sue his ass big time. Because he was rude, he was mean, and he wouldn't give me what I needed. When, it's like he wanted me to have another appointment, I think. Just to have another $50 in his pocket, or maybe it was $500, like my dad's. Because we pay our amount, the $45 copay for a specialist, but they also get, Dad's pain clinic got $500 besides Dad's $45, and that's every month, okay? So all these specialists are getting money in hand. But the point is, I had already been there several times. He got plenty of money from me, plus the hospital got 2 different surgeries. I imagine $50,000 each, don't you think? Don't you think that I deserved to be able to just have him write me a prescription? Give me my damn hormone blocker, but he did not. So 2 years later, here I have stage 4. Thank you, doctor. Tell me you guys are for the humankind. You're not. You're for your own damn pocket and for the hospital's pocket. Yeah, I'm mad about that. And I really should go sue his ass. I don't know if he can do it 2 years later. Oh, no, just go crawl in your grave. Everything's cool. No problem. How do you live with yourself? If you ever get a hold of my message, I hope you understand. You guys are working for the people. The patient. The one who's fucking dying. Can't you do your job and help them out? No, you didn't make another appointment, so I'm not doing that. You didn't come and do my fucking Yeah, I'm using bad words. You didn't come and do chemotherapy, and you didn't come and do radiation, burn the shit out of yourself when you didn't need to. He was not going to take that test. In fact, he did not. I had to have the surgeon do it. The surgeon was the one who was supposed to have had the test done in the first place. And they could, thank God they could do it with pathology. I mean, they took a sample or part of my tumor and put it in formaldehyde, and they were able to go back and do the test. You know, or it could have all gotten thrown away, and no, there would be no way to do a test. But, you know, that cancer doctor says, no, we don't do that. Given the stats that you have and how large your tumor was and this and that and the other thing, we don't take that test. Well, what business is it of his what that test cost for me or my insurance? It was his business when I was trying to get my pills. I got something in my eye. But the thing is, you doctors out there, I'm so glad that we have you. But really, don't forget who you're working for. Don't forget not to do harm. They kept changing doctors left and right, so I could look at his face and know who he is, but I don't know his name. Pissed me off so bad. Especially, I really should get pissed off, because I would not be in this predicament at all. I would be free of cancer. But no. Someone else's temperament, their temper. I'd have put another extra $100,000 in their pocket. Yeah, that's exactly what it boiled down to. They wanted me to take chemo for who knows how long, and then radiation on top of that, when I did not need to. Okay, I got carried away. I got to go back. This is supposed to be like a clarifying video about my treatments. So I get stage 4, and it's terminal. There's no cure, but they can prolong your life. This is what they're telling me, or have told me. And so the treatments I've got now is to keep the cancer at bay. Okay? So really, the hormone blocker is just to stop it from getting the hormones, which will make it die. Okay? And so that is the hormone blocker. The Zometa is my IV. Okay, yes, an infusion, not a transfusion, an infusion. And as they're putting a liquid into me, it takes about a half an hour to get it in me. And then that lasts for the 28 days. But with that thins out my hair, and I don't know what else it's doing to me. I mean, I've been able to tolerate it okay now, but the thing is that they had kept saying that I would be taking it as long as I could tolerate it. You know, and it finally dawns on you in your head, well, what does that really mean? So I was thinking in the beginning, I tolerated it well, so everything's hunky-dory. No, probably after a while of taking that medicine, then you're going to find if you can tolerate it. Now, a lot of people will quit because they can't tolerate it. So I don't know how much life that added on for those people. And myself, in my head, I believe in miracles, and I believe in inspiration and revelation. I believe that I've got a line between me and God, okay? That prayer line where you talk to your Father above. He can do everything. He can do anything. Doesn't mean he will. I can be used here or there. I mean, there's work going on in heaven, too. It's not just down here. And when I say work, I'm talking about spreading the word, letting you know your options, letting you know that you are eternal. And when you leave here, I mean, when you lay down that body, you're leaving here. You're going back to that God who gave you life. And there's things going on that we don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on in heaven, okay? We have work to do. We have work to do here. And I'm hoping that he'll let me stay here for a while, a good long while. However, I don't want to be in pain and misery. I want to be healthy. I want to be free of misery. So what would you like? Would you like 10 years of pain and misery and suffering, or would you like 5 years of wonderfulness? I don't know. That's just words that I put out there, okay? But if your choice is to stick around and be part of their money game, you know, because they're making money left and right off of us, our suffering. They are. You guys, sometimes I think we get it all twisted around thinking, oh, we're costing somebody money. But someone is reaping a lot of benefit from your suffering. Okay, I do love doctors that are doing good jobs, that are actually working for you, caring for you, being sweet, not being mean. That man was mean, but I stood up to him. He was so upset about my natural path, but I told him a thing or two about her too, you know? She was not just a natural path. She was a doctor. She was a certified oncologist, which is a cancer doctor, and she was a naturopath. So she was way above him when he's thinking she ain't worth nothing. He's thinking, just like my mother used to think about chiropractors, they're just quacks. She was wrong. So wrong. But anyway, point is, I'm looking for help. I'm not looking to die. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for that wonderful medicine called love. I mean, you know, laughter is good medicine, but feeling great inside and your heart overflowing, those things are great medicine too. Now, depression, that's not so cool. I know I got way off the track, you know, but my surgeon, the first surgeon, told me he liked what he saw. In other words, I was fighting. He says so many people come in here and they get the diagnosis of cancer and they become the disease. They get all depressed. They accept their fate. They do what we tell them to do. They take their medicine. Let's see, how did he put it? Anyway, he says, they don't fight us. They do what we say. And eventually, they die. That eventually could happen sooner than later. Especially, just imagine the defeat, being told that you're terminal, you have cancer and you're going to die. Does that make you feel wonderful? No, it does not. But I did seek out a higher power, not through just only my own prayers. I sought out the priesthood. I requested a special blessing, one to help me to understand what I should do. I learned a lot in that blessing. But the biggest thing, people, is we need to know who we are. We are children of the Most High God. With that comes what? What are my right words? The man who can do anything and everything. Guess what? You're heirs to the throne. Not only to sit on that throne, but the things that come with it, the knowledge, the power. I've got power, and I need to use it. When I've been reading to you people about the Holy Ghost, and then there's some things that I've read. I mean, I'm reading to myself too. It talks about the power of the Holy Ghost. Okay? When we're baptized into the church, we are given the gift of the Holy Ghost. And when you're 8 years old and you don't have a whole lot of need for it and all that stuff, it's just there. But as you go through life, you find you do need to rely on the Holy Ghost. He helps you to know what's true. He helps you to avoid problems. Maybe it's a little message in your head to go down a different way. We're going to take a different path today. Or we're going to be a little bit later than we should, or earlier than we should. So we miss an accident. At the moment, I can't necessarily think of all these things, but I've had many incidences where I've had help. And then also that dream, where I was looking for answers. How can God create a world? And how in the world am I going to do that? You know, here we are, these measly little creatures on this earth. We don't have power, we don't have knowledge, we don't know what we're doing. We're just going through space and time. But if you put it to work, your prayers, being on a telephone line with God at all times, doesn't mean you have to call on him, waste his time and stuff, but you have faith. You have faith and belief that the power is there for you. It is real. Things work. Miracles happen, even the littlest of miracles. I saw time slow down. I was out mowing the grass or something, and this rock was flying straight at my head. Right there. I saw time go down to slow motion. And I was able to get out of the way. I saw that rock flying at me, but it was in slow motion. It was trip. It was just one little thing. I told you guys about the little calf that I brought to life. That was a trippy deal. I don't know where you'd find it, but you could put Miracle Calf down in the search bar. It has to be Miracle Calf, and it has to be on Lose Touch. You always have to add on Lose Touch, or you're not going to find me. But that was a trippy story. And it was the truth, the total truth. It was amazing. I came home with my boyfriend at the time. Came home. And see, I was living on 500 acres, and across the street, all around me were cows, okay? And at certain times of the years when they're having babies. And this was that time of year. And we came home, and it was after dark, or right before dark or something, because I could see over there. I don't know if he had a light on, but this calf had just been born, and it was laying on the ground. No life. No life. My boyfriend and this man that was running the cattle were kicking that calf in the head. We're kicking him, trying to get him to come to life. I'm an empath. I was so full of empathy for this calf. I bent down. I'm going to cry. I bent down and I touched his nose. Just real gentle. with my hand, and he jumped straight up from dead to alive, straight up on all 4 feet, not wobbling like a little newborn babe would. I know, I gotta quit crying, you go away. But if the point, please, you want to go outside? I swear to God. I can't cry. Okay, I can't pull that thing off, it'll stop. Please stop, okay? Yes, I will love on you. But anyway, that was a miracle. And it was a brand new baby. I can't come with you. I'm not coming with you. I'm going to hit you in the head. Anyway, I learned earlier if I pull this thing apart, like if I take the charger out, it'll just shut the video off. Sometimes that's why my videos stop abruptly, because I've done something. I've either pushed on a button or pulled the charger thing out. But anyway, I think I know I do somewhere back in there, I've got a video that talks about miracles. And then I've also got a paper that I wrote, Powers of God, Gifts unto His Children, which are us. So I know I scattered all over the place. So I was talking about that cancer doctor. And I was talking about my surgeon and what he said about people. So don't do that, people. If you get a diagnosis of cancer, search for cures. Search for things you can do to fight it. Don't just lay down and die. Don't just take their word for it and get all depressed, because depression's not going to help you. And then you just need to realize that even if you die, life goes on. And I'm not talking about the life here without you. I'm talking about your life will go on. There are things to do. Now, we cannot commit suicide, but we do have a right to make choices. I mean, as in your treatment, you don't have to do what they tell you to do. So you need to arm yourself with knowledge and with God. My blessing told me that it was good for me to be concerned, because some of those treatments that you get at the hospital backfire, okay? Maybe it'll work for you for a little while, and then the next thing you know, it won't work anymore. So they got to do something different. But I also have heard, that sometimes a lot of people do not make it through the first round of chemotherapy. And then out of those people that did make it, when they go to do the second round, a lot of them don't make it through the second round without dying, people. I'm talking about dying. So you have to take all things into consideration. And I had reasons to live. I mean, we all have reasons to live, but the point is, I didn't know one way or the other what was going to happen, but I did call on the power of God. And he said that in the blessing, that I had called on the powers of heaven. And I did. And I believe. Okay, so back to my treatments. Okay, I'll get away from all that stuff. Basically, I'm taking a little pill that's a hormone blocker. And I think it thins my hair out too. So I have a little pill that I take every day. And then every 28 days, I go in and I have an IV solution put into me for building up my bones. Okay? I didn't want to confuse you so much, but she said, it was that part where my doctor said, I can melt that cancer away, but then your bones will collapse on themselves. Can't have that. So it was like, I said this the other day in my video, it was like a little dance. You know, it was kind of like I had to have the cancer in there, because when the cancer leaves, it's going to leave all kinds of holes where it was. I don't know if you can see my fingers. I'm over here drawing pictures with my hand. But the point is, we can't be collapsing. Then what? You know? I wouldn't have been able to function at all. Your bones, your skeletal, everything, I mean, that's holding you together. That's giving you support. That's giving you the thing to walk. And yes, I've got to do some walking. Very important. All you people out there, don't get yourself where you can't walk, because then what? I mean, I've been feeling weak. We can't have that. And I watched my mom and dad, both of them, thinking that they didn't have to get up and walk around. And then pretty soon you can't. Then what? Then what have you got? People can't lift you up. People can't take care of you. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of, you know, in everyday life, like going potty. How do you get to the potty, and how do you get yourself clean? Get yourself put back together. I remember when Dad kind of lost it. He'd been standing in the bathroom too long. And see, his normal procedure was go to the bathroom, do a few things, and walk across the hall. All he had to do was walk across the hall, and there was his bed, and he would sit on his bed to finish getting dressed. Well, he'd been in the bathroom too long. He did not have the strength to walk across the hall and into his room, into his bed. That's really bad, okay? So we don't want to get like that. So that's another reason for all this walking that I've been talking about. We got to walk for mobility. We have to be able to strengthen our bones so we can walk. So anyway, Linda, the hormone blocker is to stop the cancer from getting what it wants, okay? And hopefully it dies because it's not getting the hormones, because that's what it's after. It's kind of like, you know, you don't want to give them the sugar, and you don't want to give them the things that they want. You need to starve them, and they will go away. Okay, but in the meantime, they're building up my bones so that those holes that the cancer is leaving behind, these holes in my bones everywhere, that's what they're doing, is trying to build up my bones so that I don't have holes everywhere, okay? So it was real important when that doctor said she saw healing in my bones. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I'm scared. This particular PET scan, because sugar level has been high. I think it was high before too. But we don't want our sugar level high because cancer wants the sugar. Hormones and the sugar. And I hear that it likes iron. So there's all this controversy as to what you do about that. We don't want to be anemic, and that means when you have less iron. So it's just like I called it, a dance. A struggle. So I have to build up my bones as we're getting rid of the cancer. So timing is everything. But in the meantime, so the Zometa is the IV solution. It doesn't have anything to do with blocking hormones. It has to do with building up my bones. So then those 2 needles that I get at the same time, I get a shot in each butt cheek of a hormone blocker. Part of it is trying to kill the cancer, and part of it is trying to build up my bones as it does, so I don't fall apart and fall to the ground as far as that goes. You know what I mean? And I have a kitty. What are you gonna do, kitty? You see this cat? Okay. You better not sneeze in my face. Okay, go on. I should probably go get an orange. I came down and I had a slice of pizza. That's not necessarily the best thing for me to be eating, especially getting ready for this test. The day before you go in for this PET scan, you're supposed to have no carb diet. And what they're doing things different than other places. So we made my appointment for the afternoon. I'm not sure what time now. I'll have to go look. I think it's at 2:40, but that was what yesterday's was, so I could be getting them confused. But she said that I have to fast 4 hours. You know, your normal fasting blood sugar is 8 hours or 12. Someone just did 12. But she said you can go in fasting for 4 hours. So we do the appointment for the PET scan late in the afternoon. I can eat in the morning. And she suggested eggs. I don't know what else, but anyway, so you have to have at least 4 hours to fast, and you have to have below a 200 blood sugar. And I think, not sure, but I think I'll be able to do that. And I did just start the Jardiance, but I've only taken it 3 or 4 times now. And I'm hoping it's as wonderful as the doctor says it is, because then that will give me a new lease on life to a point, because I want to get off metformin. Metformin is, I'd heard it was bad, but didn't really know why. Okay, well, the first thing was that yellowish skin. I don't like that. That doesn't look healthy at all. Sallow, yellowish looking skin. Okay, then also muscle aches is one. There's like all these different things, and another one is confusion. Like I need more confusion, right? I bet that's where my confusion came from, those stupid metformin pills. There's other things you can take besides metformin. So anyway, the idea that I'm doing now is we're going to take Jardiance, and I'm just taking 1 metformin at night and 1 in the morning, and hoping that my blood sugar will be marvelous, and then we can get me off the metformin. And she said at first, at least, we'll just take 1 away at first, and see how I'm doing. But hopefully the Jardiance will just take care of it, and I won't have to take the metformin. And I don't know what else. So the main thing I was doing with this video was to help unconfuse. And I don't know that I did that. So the hormone blockers are to starve the cancer. Okay, that little pill I take every day, and then those injections, which I get every 28 days. I should be able to get off the Zometa, but we're going to be looking, if my PET scan comes out really good, then we're going to go down to once every 3 months on the Zometa instead of once a month. And that should help. Maybe that'll help with the thinning of my hair. Maybe it'll help with whatever other side effects that has. It's hard to keep track of all these things. But the wormer, okay, to try to just put it in a whole separate category, okay? I was going by what my grandma Smith said, what that man told me to do, which was a colon cleanse, which is killing parasites, okay? And then I heard the veterinarian talking about giving this wormer to these dogs. And he was doing it because they had worms. I mean, people have started using the horse wormer for their dogs. So it just so happened, coincidental, that these dogs had cancer and their cancer went away. And with the fact that the FDA approved it in 1996 for human consumption, and with the fact that Grandma Smith's friend was getting rid of parasites, that was his answer to getting rid of cancer. I think that's a really good thing. So I decided myself, okay, to try it, to take it. And I did ask my doctor, my cancer doctor, what she thought of it. And she told me she had no problems at all with me taking it. She just couldn't give me a prescription for it. Otherwise, I'd be taking pills every day instead of this gel. But hey, if the gel works, I mean, just coincidental, my PET scan after I'd been taking that for a while, no cancer activity. The cancer had stopped growing. I don't understand it all, but I do know that I think it helped. I think it helped a lot. So, there you go. I need to go find something else to eat. I'm going to be an eataholic today. I want some food. And then tomorrow I've got to try to not have carbs very much anyway. But it is neat that I only have to worry about fasting, because if you don't have your appointment first thing in the morning, you're starving. You know what I mean? So you can have your appointment later in the afternoon and fast for 4 hours before it and have eggs in the morning. You can have water and take your pills and stuff like that. It's always a game. Can you take your medicine? Gotta have that medicine. Anyway, I'm not a very good patient, I guess. I'm not saying my words right. Nevertheless, people, we don't have to take just what the doctor says and do it. We have options. And I think this ivermectin is a really good thing. And it's going to go through everything. It's going to go through your whole bloodstream, your blood system, wherever that goes. So it seems to me people with a blood disease would get some benefit right away. Trip. Okay. So did I clarify, Linda? I'm not sure if I did, because I get carried away. So the ivermectin is just something I took because of happenstance, okay? It kills parasites. And that's what my Grandma Smith's friend had said helped him. So instead of going through a big old detox and a big old colon cleanse, I just figured out I'd take me a horse wormer. And I hope it continues to do good. Problem is, I have not taken it in a while. I took it today, and I took one other dose, but I'm not sure if I took that before I left Nancy's house or after I got here. Nevertheless, I'm not dead from the ivermectin. Okay? Take care, you people.